I took DJI Nano to Philippines. Not everything went as planned, but I was able to make some shots. I survived 2 typhoons. One nearly destroyed my rooftop. Luckily, the rain went straight to the toilet. Out of 9 days I spent in the Philippines, maybe 1.5 was actually sunny. So I could put this little camera to the test compared to Osmo Action 5. I was able to make a few shots with those toys during this 1.5 sunny day and a few not so sunny days. So let's jump right into it right after my brand new intro. Hey guys, welcome to paradise. I want to show you the comparison of those two great cameras. In previous video I told you that Nano is more like my third camera and Action 5 Pro is more like my secondary camera for risky situations like in water or riding a bike, riding a scooter, etc. And for DJI Nano is more like for creative shots. And for example, I already made some cool stuff with this camera on the car while I was driving. Okay, with this shot, I was afraid that the suction cup won't hold up on a bumpy road, but it did a good job. But to be honest, it fell down on my first attempt. So I probably did something wrong. Nothing happened to the camera though. So actionness of the camera is approved. But I felt much better using inbuilt magnets. I put it on the roof. Unfortunately, I didn't use the magnetic hat mount. I would have had much better control in the camera positioning, but maybe this mirror glaze on a windshield looks good here. As you can see, the stabilization works fine. And then here we have more sky, but I'm not sure if I like it better or not. I was able to record for a few minutes and the camera wasn't even warm when I grabbed it from there. Probably because of the fact that it was simply on the move. But now let's go back to paradise and see the comparison between Nano and Action 5. Biggest distinction between those two cameras are the modular build of DJI Nano. So you can use camera module and display module separately. So it helps with creative stuff. So the camera itself is really small, so you can put it anywhere. It has magnetic attachment. You can put it on any metal surface and then just look through this display what it is recording. Of course, the weather here is fantastic, so this comparison will be in the perfect situation for both of them because we have full sun, beautiful blue skies, we have some greens, we have water, but I will also try to make a comparison of those two cameras in not so good weather conditions. I'm recording in both of those cameras in Auto 4K 50 horizon balancing. You can see my setup here and the beautiful surroundings around me. They are both actually very similar to each other. Of course, the modular design, it's the main difference. Additional difference is that the display module is not waterproof. So remember about that if you want to take some underwater shots. Of course, the Action 5 Pro is fully waterproof up to, I guess, 10 meters. So let me do some comparison around the block here. In my opinion, both cameras are basically identical, and it is not a surprise as both of them share the same 1/1.3 inch sensor. Here, maybe something more tough for both of those cameras because it's facing the sun, but we will see it in post. For here it looks like the DJI Nano is worse, but maybe it's because of the display it has. So I'm holding those cameras side by side. I don't use any selfie stick or something like that, but I think it should be enough to show you guys very similar footage. Guys, both of those cameras work really basically the same. if you're wondering which one you should choose, whether it should be Action 5 Pro or Nano, then to be honest, it all depends for what you want to use it. If you want to use it for sports and for water activities, then I think that Action 5 Pro is a no-brainer. But if you want to use it as an additional camera for some creative shots using this remote controller with a display, then I would choose Osmo Nano. Of course, I have both of those cameras for both of those needs, but I know that not everyone wants to spend all their hard-earned money for two very similar cameras. And of course, I also have Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm recording at the moment. But this is for 90% of my use case. So those are more like an additional cameras. As I told you guys in my previous video, this is my A camera, this is my B camera, and this is my C camera. Here are some shots from Pocket 3 as well, so you guys can see how both of those action cams compared to gimbal vlogging camera. So even though I didn't have much sunny days, I was able to take some shots on scooter bikes using this magnetic lanyard that I put on my chest. It's nice that this magnetic lanyard works with the hat mount. Unfortunately, I forgot my hat on this scooter ride, so I don't have any shots from my hat perspective. Here I really don't like how the camera handled the sky. Just for comparison, here's how Action 5 Pro did in very similar scenario. Maybe it's only me, but I find the Action 5 Pro footage much more pleasant. But to be fair, I did lower sharpness and noise reduction to -2 on Action 5, and I didn't own the Nano at the time. Here, Nano did very well, as it had very good light environment, the colors, dynamic range and stabilization did good, but the darker it gets, the worse the footage from Nano is, which is not a surprise for me because of small sensor and inbuilt stabilization. Here you can see how bad the jitters are. The whole image is shaking and it's barely usable. I didn't use those special settings for those shakes at the time, to be completely honest, but it would make the image much darker as well. And here at night, the image is just trash. Here again, how good it looks in full sun and even during cloudy or even rainy day and without crazy camera movement. We did some kayaking as well, but I didn't decide to take Nano with me on this sketchy kayak. It was actually leaking because the display module isn't waterproof whatsoever. So I didn't want to risk it. Of course, I could take this camera module itself and make a comparison, but you know, I wasn't thinking clear at the moment. But here are some shots from Action 5 Pro and Mini 4 Pro with my wife on the book. The fact that I didn't want to risk Nano, or at least the multifunctional vision dock, as DJI is calling it, proves my point. The Nano is in fact not action cam. And if that's what you want to use your camera for, go for Action 5 Pro or Action 6 or any other action cam that is on the market. You can also try with the GoPro, Ace Pro, Insta cameras as well, if this is what you would prefer. As I said in my previous video, DJI Nano is more like a secondary or even third-dairy camera, and for me this is why I bought it, just to have this ability to put it in some weird place, like on a roof of the car or on the side of the car, put it in some tight spaces, so be more creative with what you can do, and then have this display to see the footage, how it looks from those random places. This is exactly what I would do more with Nano if I had more sunny days. But still, it was a nice trip. Coming back to Nano, do I recommend it? It depends, right? If you already have Pocket 3, if you already have Action 5 Pro or even Action 6, DJI Nano probably isn't for you unless you're seeking those additional shots that could enrich your videos. For 99% of situations, you will use Pocket 3 and your Action 5 or Action 6, and maybe for 1% of time, this is the same case with me, I will use DJI Nano. And I knew it from the start when I bought it, and it confirmed here on the trip to Philippines, and I'm sure it will have the same purpose in the upcoming trips that I planned. Oh, and I almost forgot. Welcome to my channel, I'm Tomek, and I love tech, all sorts of cameras, drones, and everything around it. And in this channel, I will share my thoughts and opinions on tech, drones, cameras, accessories, you name it. And it would be nice if you would consider subscribing and leaving a thumb up if you like this type of content, and just to let me know that it is worth doing. See you in the next one.